Baltimore sees 12 shootings, 4 of them fatal. I Stand with Gayle starts trending with support for the talk show host Gayle King. And Baltimore City Council President Brandon Scott. Rude or victim? Today on The Diamond K Show. Welcome back to The Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire, reporting for the nation. My name is Diamond K. Thank you for joining me. A lot of things that I want to get into today. Of course, episode 396 of the show. A lot of things on my desk here. At least 12 shootings happened over the weekend. And 4 of them being fatal here in Baltimore since Friday. So, I mean, I hate when this happens. I do. Because it's something that people focus on. Something that people focus on, and that is the ceasefire. You know, the Baltimore ceasefire. So this was a Baltimore ceasefire weekend. And you have these things happen, so people want to say something like, "Oh, the ceasefire is a failure." Ceasefire is not a failure, okay? So having a goal, and if we don't achieve the goal, well, it doesn't mean you stop trying. It doesn't mean anything like that. So definitely want to commend the folks that that organize the ceasefire, and different people going to say, "Oh, this is this is not the people that's." In the forefront, they ain't really the ones put on the whatever. Just whatever, right? Definitely continue to try to do that. But on the 12 shootings that were reported, 6 of them occurred on Saturday alone. 3 of the fatal shootings that were reported on Friday, another one on Sunday, according to the police. So the latest homicide was reported around 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. And that was the 900 block of Coppin Court. Police were on patrol, were called to the area for reports of a shooting, and found a man with a gunshot wound to the torso area. So he was taken to the hospital, and then he later died from that. So earlier this morning, as of early today, there have been 33 homicides in the city thus far. So we're off to a pretty bad start of the year. And last year seeing record numbers. So what can be done? What can be done about this? What can cause a drop in homicide? That is the question. And this being an election year, that's definitely something that's going to be on the minds of people and candidates and all of that stuff. So just as we continue to just try to make sense of something that just does not make sense, we're going to continue to talk about it. I don't want people to become desensitized to what's going on and lose that empathy just because they see a lot of murders and they see this is not normal. This is not something that is supposed to be happening. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Diamond K Show on Radio on Fire. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. Your man Diamond K in here, the Diamond K Show on Radio on Fire. Of course, on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. So, this hashtag started trending. It is hashtag I Stand with Gayle. course, I don't stand with Gayle, but that's the hashtag that is trending. Of course, Gayle King, Oprah's bestie, host, one of the co-hosts for CBS This Morning. She was receiving, according to Oprah, death threats. Now, this could be something that was just done to throw sympathy the way of Gayle, because we don't have any evidence of this. We don't have any evidence of this. We're judging, but we're going by what Oprah said, right? Anyway, according to her, she's been receiving these death threats for mentioning the late, great Kobe Bryant's sexual assault allegations during the recent interview with WNBA champion Lisa Leslie. So, I'm going to spend some time on this because it is something that frequently happens, and women who have been raped, I empathize and sympathize with them because they were violated, and it was a terrible thing. Now, here's the problem that I have, though. A lot of times, women who were raped, whenever an allegation is made, I'm not saying that we know that the person was raped. I'm saying when women who really were raped hear allegations, oftentimes they just automatically support the person who levied the allegation because they themselves were actually raped. So it seems like they can't fathom someone lying, someone taking advantage of a situation because they themselves were taken advantage of. So through that prism, they can't see, or they refuse to see, or they give every woman the benefit of the doubt, no matter the circumstances, no matter what happens. And that is what I see happen far too often. That's what's happening with Kobe Bryant. The people that have started this hashtag I stand with Gayle, these are people who were either victims, or they know someone who was a victim, or they just support the cause of people who were taken advantage of. This is that Me Too era movement, people. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, the issue with Gayle King, Oprah's bestie, the issue started because Gayle, when she asked Lisa Leslie if she thought that the 2003 rape allegations against Kobe Bryant, who has not yet been memorialized yet, not put in the ground yet, whether those rape allegations complicated the NBA legend's legacy. Okay? People can make any allegation that they want, right? People have made allegations against Oprah. People have made allegations, both of whom, and here's what's so ironic about this. Gayle King, she felt compelled as a journalist to ask Lisa Leslie, did she feel that these allegations would tarnish Kobe Bryant's legacy, right? But yet, her and her best friend Oprah parade around with Harvey Weinstein, who's had more sexual assault allegations than years that the Oprah Winfrey Show's been on the air. He's had more allegations than years she's had on the air. And when they speak about this guy, it's, you can't make it about the person, and it's a whole bunch of cutting and dodging and ducking, right? Kobe Bryant did not go to trial for this. The girl refused to testify, right? This was settled out of court. If the girl had been raped, right? The girl had been raped, and Kobe Bryant was tried and convicted of this rape charge, that would have been something different. This was an allegation. Now, Oprah Winfrey has said that she was raped in her life, And I guess that just means that everybody who says it, that doesn't mean that it happened to them, right? This has to be looked at on a case-by-case basis. Case-by-case basis. For those of you just tuning in, it's Diamond K, Radio on Fire. We are talking about this hashtag, I Stand With Gayle, that started to trend, and this is people that are supporting I Am Not, but people that are supporting Gayle King, Oprah Winfrey's best friend, right? So anyway, this hashtag starts trending, and people start speaking about it. Now, Snoop Dogg, legendary rapper Snoop Dogg, very vocal about Gayle King's interview, called her all kind of names, and said that he wanted to see her, right? She would need to explain some things to him. So people have, really spun his comments out of control. And did I already mention that Gayle and Oprah parade around with a white guy who's been accused of over 50 sexual assaults, right? So I can see if the company that they keep, but they want to focus on the late, great Kobe Bryant, who's not even in the ground yet. You talk about timing. You know what I mean? Talk about timing. Oprah, I don't know if you remember this, but Oprah cried. Joan Rivers was hosting the Tonight Show, and Oprah was on there. And Joan Rivers, a comedian, asked Oprah, why she get so fat or something like that, right? And, Oprah was, went on her show. She cried and she cried. She's so sensitive, right? She's sensitive when it comes to her. When it comes to other people, she could give a damn. And of course her friend Gayle. I don't know how she feels about Stedman. He sleeps outside the living quarters, so I don't know. But anyway, rapper Snoop Dogg told Gayle King to respect the family and back off before we come and get you. All right, that was a bit aggressive. That was a bit aggressive. But anyway, we know that Gayle responded, gave her side of the story, and she said that the interview was taken out of context, although it was not taken out of context. One thing that has happened is that CBS has not been quick to come to her aid, but they have benefited from the views of the interview. They probably wanted her to ask these questions. But Oprah Winfrey said that Gayle King was not doing well. You know what I mean? She was hugging her up, patting her up. Still, she wasn't doing well. And she said she's receiving death threats. What Snoop Dogg said was not a death threat. So if Oprah is referring to that, let's go back to Snoop's comment. Snoop's comment was, respect the family and back off before we come and get you. Is that a death threat? No, it's not a death threat. It may be a threat, but it's not a death threat, right? Come and get you can mean a lot of things. That's not a threat. She can't get a restraining order from that. It's not a threat. It's not a death threat. It's not a bodily harm. That come and get you could be in social media. Could be in social media. Could mean a lot of things. But in response, many users on social media have expressed their support for Gayle King. As journalists, we often have to ask tough questions, uncomfortable questions. It's within your right to disagree. What's not okay is to threaten anybody with vile, hate-filled language and death threats. This is a Twitter user, Janelle Burrell, who is an anchor for CBS News in Philly. She said that. Have to ask the tough questions. Understand that. This question did not have to be asked, though. Okay? There's so many things you could talk about. Well, she had to ask about the 2003 allegations. Right? Some old-ass allegations. Not a conviction. Not anything related to anything. You just wanted to be controversial. And then when it got too controversial for you, then you want to go duck and hide. Gayle King talking about. Another person who stands with Gayle. I stand with Gayle King and every woman threatened when she uses her voice. Hashtag I stand with Gayle. This is a Twitter user named Athena. So a woman can say anything, right? This goes back to the double standard. So she can say anything, and if somebody responds back aggressively, because let's keep in mind, she's asking about a man who's dead and who just died. But she can say whatever she wants, and if the response gets to be too spicy, then you want to play this card. All right. I stand with Gayle King. She says, okay. To be clear, hashtag I stand with Gayle King. It's not all right to threaten Gayle King or anybody because you don't agree with them. The comments and videos being played are not okay, but it's not too late to make a different choice, wrote Erica Alexander, former actress on The Cosby Show. All right. Okay. I don't understand. It's just like, people have to understand, you are accountable for what you say. Sometimes you can say too much. Has Gayle apologized? No. She just said, she's placed the blame on CBS, even though the words came out of her mouth. She's throwing blame everywhere else. I could see if she came out and apologized. I said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. No, I understand why you might be mad the way CBS twisted it. No, CBS ain't twisting nothing, and she ain't apologized, and she's not remorseful. Here's another one. This is despicable. Gayle King is one of the most principled, fair, and tough journalists alive. Snoop, back the F off. You come for Gayle King. You come against an army. You will lose, and it won't be pretty. That was Susan Rice, National Security Advisor and United Nations Ambassador. She also used to work in the Obama administration. I mean, okay, so because to me what she said was more aggressive than what Snoop said, right? She said, back the F up. You come against Gayle, you come against an army. You will lose, and it won't be pretty. If Snoop had said that, we would have, hashtag I'm with Snoop. I'm with Snoop Dogg. I mean, and I have the utmost respect for Susan Rice, the utmost respect for her. But what I do have a problem with is that all women cannot champion any woman for doing whatever she wants to do with no repercussions. Right? There are going to be repercussions in this world. All right. So in addition to fans supporting Gayle King, Snoop Dogg has also posted a new video on IG explaining his views and giving more clarity to his statements. So this is what Snoop said. Snoop said, I'm a nonviolent person. When I said what I said, I spoke for the people who felt like Gayle was very disrespectful to Kobe Bryant and his whole family. Now, with that being said, what I look like wanting harm to come to a 70-year-old woman? I was raised way better than that. I didn't want no harm to come to her. I didn't threaten her. All I said was, check it out, you out of pocket for what you doing. And out of pocket she was, and she is. And, people are going to disagree on this. Some people who feel like Gayle can say whatever she wants and it's just a minor disagreement. This is more than a disagreement. You disrespected the man's family by doing this at this time. But, of course, let's keep in mind, Me Too movement women. There are women in his family. Oh, wait, he has a wife. He's got daughters. He's got nothing but daughters, right? So how about we support those women? Gayle King, she's going to be okay. She's going to be all right. You listen to the Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to hashtag I'm with Gayle. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back after this. Welcome back the Diamond K Show here on Radio on Fire. Of course, I go by the name of Diamond K. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. LinkedIn, at the Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. So, according to the office of the City Council President Brandon Scott, a restraining order and criminal charges have now been filed against the man who allegedly assaulted Brandon Scott outside of the mayoral candidate forum on Wednesday at the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. So, earlier in this broadcast, I was talking about the 12 shootings that happened over the weekend, 4 people deceased. Currently, we have 33 homicides in Baltimore. What we need is a strong mayor. We need someone that is able to rise to the occasion, right? Somebody that possesses strength. He or she needs to be a strong male. And when we talk about strength, and when we talk about fortitude, what I don't think of is Brandon Scott. I don't know if Brandon Scott's the right person for the job. Okay, by now, I'm sure people have seen the surveillance video footage of this so-called incident. Man, Michael Moore is now facing charges. For what I saw. Now, what I saw is Brandon Scott walking up a ramp, coming into the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. He shook someone's hand, and he proceeded to walk straight. Now, straight ahead, there's a guy standing. He's standing almost against the railing, rope, that thing. And he has a book bag on the ground. There is no room behind him to walk. So Brandon Scott continues to walk, and it's almost like he wants to push him out of the way. There's plenty of room on the other side. However, he invaded this man's space. The man pushed him, and some mushing, tapping, slapping. There was some exchange of energy when Brandon got too close. And as he walked away, there was another swipe, mush, push, punch, something that happened, and he kept walking. So that's where we're at. And this president of the city council who wants to be the mayor, who's raised in Park Heights, right? They would say raised in Park Heights, went to Mervo. This gentleman, he seems so. I don't know if he's tough enough to run the city. I really don't. But anyway, he's pressed charges. We have a mayor who had a mayor candidate, president of city council, who has filed this restraining order against this guy, who was passing out flyers for Sheila Dixon, who I know is not happy about this, and she don't want her name mixed up in this. So he spoke to Fox 45 last night, and they asked him, "Do you deny hitting him?" And Moore responded and said, "Oh, I don't deny hitting him. I was defending myself. That was the main thing, to defend myself." So the gentleman seen in the video passing out flyers, holding flyers in his hand for mayoral candidate Sheila Dixon, he said that while he was outside the forum, the Reginald F. Lewis Museum, volunteering for Sheila Dixon, Brandon Scott tried to push his way behind him, which he did. That is what I saw. It's what I saw. So you can see on the rail, I was only one step from the end of the rope. What was he going to squeeze through? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to, I'm not going to say that, but maybe he was trying to do something questionable. I don't know. Maybe the guy was protecting himself. But I as a grown man, I don't want some man squeezing behind me, pinning up against a rail, and that's just not normal behavior. Not for a mayoral candidate, president of the city council who grew up in Park Heights and went to Mervo. No, it's not. It's not appropriate behavior. Now, should this man go to jail? No. Should Brandon Scott go to jail? No. This is nothing. This is foolishness with politics. This is Brandon Scott trying to get the sympathy vote. You want to get a sympathy vote? You gonna feel sorry for you? Want to vote for the little mayor? You want to vote for the little mayor? No, he gets no sympathy vote. You know what I mean? He said he wasn't even hurt. It's ridiculous. It's foolishness. But I wish I had been outside when this was happening. Gosh, I wish I had been outside when this was happening, because I was in the building, but I missed this part. I was inside. That's what happens when you be on time. And I was a little bit late. But incident captured on surveillance video. And, you know, it does show him trying to walk past him. The video appears to show Moore hit Scott in the face before pushing him a second time. Do you think he was warranted to press charges against you? They asked Moore. And he says, it don't even matter. Friends of mine say I should have pressed charges first. And he still can. Who's representing this guy? Maybe we need to call him up. Maybe he needs some representation. I will defend him in court. Okay? I will defend him in court. Just to let you know, Mr. Moore can reach out to Radio on Fire, and I will represent him in court. Okay. According to Brandon Scott, he was not injured. He didn't look injured to me. He should do what rappers do when they say they're in a fight. You know how they get on their cell phone, they show, see, that happened to me. They show their face. They be like, look right, see? They try to say I got beat up. I ain't even get, you know. Moore has been active on social media since the incident, with posts on Facebook that Scott's office said that they considered to be threatening. Oh, hashtag I stand with Brandon Scott. And now he's being threatened. I mean, this is the guy who wants to run the city. This guy who wants to run the city. You're playing games with a volunteer for a campaign of someone that you're running against. I gotta say it. Mary Bubala said that it was time for us to move in another direction, meaning that she didn't want any more female mayors, right? You know, black female mayors. We don't need any female acting mayors either. Brandon, come on. You were from Park Heights, went to Maryville, right? Let's tighten your belt strap up and get focused. Focus on your campaign. This is not what you want to get focused on. It's not. So anyway, a post yesterday, Mayor wrote, anytime I have a government official hating, having a gun isn't an option. It's the only way. Now, you know, I don't take that as a threat, because what he's saying is a government official is hating on him, and he's saying that he needs a gun for protection, because a government official, you know, they pull up with the black SUVs, right? That's what he meant. But he's not doing himself any favors. If I was representing him, I would be telling him to be posting Bible scriptures on Facebook and not any talk about a gun. We need to contact him. This man, we're tripping. But Moore denies that any of his posts are meant to target Brandon Scott. You don't think he needs protection against you? They asked him. He has nothing to worry about. I like having fun. Okay. I mean, yeah, he does not need to be talking on social media. He doesn't, because he doesn't know what to say. Moore was fired by the Dixon campaign not long after the incident took place. So they took his vest, they took his flyers. I don't know if they took the book bag. It looked like it was his book bag, but I don't know if they took the book bag, but he can't pass out no flyer. Maybe he can work for Shannon Wright, Pastor Shannon Wright's campaign, because he's got more press than she's got. Well, I feel. All right, so Brandon Scott released multiple statements, and he said that this is coming from Brandon Scott. Mr. Moore's statements are patently false and contradictory to all bystanders' account, not the video footage. His own statements on social media before and after the incident, before his termination by the Dixon campaign. Councilman will not allow this to serve as a distraction from the important work of serving the citizens of Baltimore. Brandon Scott's the one that made a distraction. I mean, he should have just kept it moving and just ignored the whole thing. We shouldn't even be talking about this, right? This is a distraction. So anyway, regarding Wednesday's assault, I mean, it's just, it was, you should have, I mean, you can't walk into somebody, get up in somebody's personal space. That's what men do. Even women do it too. If some woman walks up in your personal space, you're going to push them back like, yo, what you doing? Get out of my face, right? You busted my bubble. You know, everybody has a bubble, an invisible bubble around them. If you get too close, you done pop the bubble. You too close, right? 50 feet. Give me 50 feet. Well, anyway, so Brandon Scott's office says that it received testimony from witnesses of the alleged assault and says that it rebukes Moore's claims. Who cares what they say, right? All we gotta do is look at the video. The video shows clear. There was no space for Brandon Scott to be walking. What was he trying to do? Butt him in the butt? Why was he trying to get that close, right? You need to walk the other way. Court records show that Moore is facing one charge of second-degree assault in this case. So, that's what it is. That's where we stand. I do think that this does not help Brandon Scott. As much as he wants to try to play the high mighty role, this does not help Brandon Scott. Doesn't make him look good. Doesn't make him look efficient. It doesn't make him look like he is able to run. If you can't handle this little situation in a way that makes you look like a man, how are you going to be able to handle running a city as lit as Baltimore? How are you gonna? You couldn't even walk up the walkway without this little squabble, and the fact that we even know about it shows that you don't know how to handle yourself in the streets of Baltimore. But he grew up in Park Heights. But did he grow up? What area? What's the area called? On the other side of Northern Parkway. What's that area called? Pikesville? Is that Pikesville? Maybe he grew up in the Pikesville area of Park Heights where it was safe, right? Because I don't know what this guy doing. But let me say this. Here's what is disturbing to me about this situation, and I'm going to say this. So this alleged assault, I don't even want to call it an assault. This little thing happened Wednesday night, right? Wednesday evening. Within a few days, we had video footage. I didn't even know there was a camera there. Most people don't even know that there's a camera pointing in that direction. Video footage is produced of this area where we didn't even see it on camera at. But when we have murders happen, when we have real situations happen, violence in the city, okay, get no camera, no footage is available. But Brandon Scott's narrow ass walks up the walkway, and all of a sudden we got all this footage, right? We got all this supporting footage. It's the priorities are screwed up. That's why Jack Young don't need to be the mayor. Brandon Scott damn sure don't need to be the mayor. We need somebody to get in and get things in order. We need a mayor who is tough, who is strong. That could be a woman or a man. But it can't be Jack Young, and it damn sure can't be Brandon Scott. I'm Diamond K. You listen to the Diamond K Show. I will be back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Radio on Fire provides the best in breaking news, entertainment, sports, and political stories that matter to you. To get all the show archives and exclusive content, become a member today, radioonfire.com/join. It's Radio on Fire. We're reporting for the nation. Your man Diamond K. I will see you guys tomorrow.